Welcome to Bitching and Moaning, the podcast where we talk shit, spill the tea, and say all the things you're definitely thinking about but shouldn't say out loud.
We're your hosts. I'm Stephanie with Patricia, and together we're your weekly dose of sass, laughs, and just the right amount of bad decisions.
From sexy stories to petty rants, nothing's off limits. So grab your wine or your drink of choice, loosen your morals, and let's get into it.
Because if we're not bitching,
We're probably moaning. Welcome to Bitchin and Moanin.
Hiya.
We are on location today, and we are so excited because it's Margarita Monday.
Yes. See?
We have our margaritas.
Yeah.
We decided to go a little different today than the wine. So I have a regular margarita with jalapenos in it because I love spicy stuff.
And I just have the strawberry, no sugar. I decided to be a little bit better and just deal with the sugar in
With
it
an
than
extra
the
large
sugar.
margarita.
Yeah, but an extra large, right?
But you know us, we love to go to our community and visit the local restaurants and bars. And so this restaurant that we're at right now is amazing. It's called JJ's Taco Bar. And it's so good. I mean, it's actually JJ's Taco Shop, sorry. And they have a few of them around the Metroplex. It is a really great story, and I only know this because of my daughter, but they used to be in a mall close by, and they were so good. Everybody loved their tacos and loved their burritos and stuff that they decided to make a brick and mortar, and coincidentally, it happens to be across the street from my house, so I'm pretty lucky. She's not far from me, though.
location.
Well, yeah, but then they got really busy and they've opened a couple other ones in the area, so they do really well. We don't only have margaritas, we have tacos. So they have happy hour till 7, so you get tacos and everything at a good price. So we're here. They're being gracious enough and letting us film here because we have a spicy.
Yes. A
Spicy one today. And hopefully the patrons here don't hear us and kick us out and say, what are they talking about?
Yeah,
Fine.
exactly.
But let's cheers to
All right.
margaritas. We might take breaks
Yeah.
here and there too, so just so you know, because this is our liquid courage. So good, so good. I love it.
Yummy, yummy.
And the tacos are a variety of meats, carnitas, chicken, whole steak, all sorts and different
Right, yeah.
flavors, and they're just so good. They're street tacos, but they're
Yeah. So I got the carnitas. I just got 3 carnitas, and
Oh,
I already tried a bite, and they're yummy. It has cilantro and onion on them.
Yeah, I did carnitas. I did a sriracha pork, I guess.
For my spicy girl.
Yeah, sriracha chicken, I think it is. I don't know, but they're really good. And so that's what we're going to be doing while we talk about. Ready?
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. And that's what our topic is today.
Yes.
So buckle up, buttercup.
That's right.
Loosen those morals.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be talking some SCX.
So this is your warning. If you watch with your children, you may not want them around this one until you watch it first, and then you decide for yourself if you want
18
them.
and older, please.
Yeah, 18 or older, but some parents are progressive, so we'll let them decide. But here's the warning now. It's gonna get a little hot and spicy.
It is. So last episode, if you guys are catching up or not catching up yet, you should. But our last episode was a little spicy too. We were talking about the roasts and comedians and the JJs, and we really shared with you
Yes.
guys a lot
About us.
about us. So now you guys probably know us a little bit more inside and out.
Yes.
So we decided that we thought we would talk about the different ways, and this is some of it's going to be bitching too, because remember, we're vintage,
Yes.
and we're going to be exploring the Gen Zs, the millennials, the Gen Xs, the baby boomers, all that kind of stuff. I think they even have a new one now. God, I don't know what it's called, but
There's so many of them. It's hard
Yeah.
to keep track of what the age ranges are.
yeah, Gen
Alpha? There's like an alpha.
Yeah,
or
there's
something.
something.
Yeah.
But each I guess years like a genre. Or, I don't know how you say it, but I can't even talk today. Maybe it's the margarita. But as you start to mature, you know, you have your high school sex, and then you get in your 20s, and you're like, "Woo, I am really good." And then, you know, each generation, each decade, you know, things change. They change not only with your body, but they change on how you want to do things, how you want to explore,
How spontaneous you are.
how spontaneous you are. And so we thought we'd kind of cover all that, since now we've actually gone through all of those stages.
Yep.
We still have more to go, but we wanted to share kind of our experiences, and we have spoken to our husbands, and they are very fine with this discussion. And again, it's just natural stuff that people go through, and we want to share because we want you to know that a lot of the stuff you may be feeling is normal. It is very 100% normal.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
do you want to start with your topic? You want to?
Yeah. So kind of you gave the premise of it is basically my bitching where I started is getting older sucks in general. It seems like every morning I wake up and I find another wrinkle, or there's a frown line, or my hand veins are sticking out. It's just, you know, there's a lot of things I'm trying to keep myself young like. But then there's also things with your body, and sex is one of those things where it changes and you have to learn to adapt. So in my 20s, I was pretty spontaneous. Yeah. You know, I'll admit a few one night stands, which were great back in the day. Not very safe now, but you know, hey, I'll own up to it, right? Take accountability.
And those of you out there who know us, don't be counting like, how old are they? What were they married? Were they not married? Were they? Did they have boyfriend? Don't do that.
I was very
don't people
single anyway.
judging us because you know, don't judge us.
Yeah.
Just we listen and we don't judge.
That's our mantra. That's how we are with each other, right?
We do, for sure. 100%.
So yeah, so it was all about spontaneous, going out, hooking up, sex. It was all about that. So it was all about what was fun. There was no intimacy involved at all. It was all about fun. It was all about just having sex because you were horny, right? You just want to have sex.
Yeah.
So that's what I remember about my 20s. It was very spontaneous, very fun. It was hour-long romps, if you want to call it that. You know, it was like you had to continually go for a long period of time, right? And so,
and you could.
Yeah, you could. Everything worked
Everything
great. Well, and it was easy too to get aroused in your 20s. It's like they put you, woo, you know, here we go, let's get it on.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna veer off for a second because I gotta talk about my J-Lo girl. I know I'm going off, but just you made me think of something. So I watched the new J-Lo movie last night on Netflix. Go watch it. It's called Office Romance.
Oh, I just saw that.
So you saw? Did you watch
No, I haven't watched it. I
Oh my
saw
god!
it. I just
First
saw it
of all,
yesterday.
it's funny as hell. It's so funny. It's typical J-Lo rom-com, you know, but it's so funny. And there's a part in there. The guy who plays her co-worker, who she kind of digs, is the guy from Ted Lasso. He's one of the soccer players, and there's a really funny part where they shake hands and he gets a boner. And I was dying. I'm like, that is so fucking funny because she is his boss.
Oh.
And she's like, oh my god, what is that? It's
it
like,
away.
oh my god. Yeah, she's like, it's really, look, I'm crying. It was really
I can't
funny.
unsee that. Put it away.
Dude, there's so many funny parts of that. So it's on Netflix. Go watch it. Okay, back to our 20s. So let me go. So you were in your 20s. I'm gonna go back just a little bit further. How I started like experiencing sex, and honestly, I wish it would have been different. I really wish my mom would have sat down and said, hey, you know, this is it. So you know what happens when you don't talk to your kids, or you don't, you know, give them information or help. You're experimenting, and you don't even you don't even know what is what, and it's not healthy. You know, and it could be dangerous in a lot of different ways, because
Yeah.
things can happen. You can catch things, you can get pregnant, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I did have some unfortunate situations when I was a teenager that I really just try to put my mind behind it. Like, I was madly in love with this guy. He looked like Ralph Macchio. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah. He still looks good
Oh my
today.
God. I was in love with this guy, and he did not know I existed. He was like, I was like a sophomore, and he was like a senior, junior, whatever. And I just wanted to like know him. I wanted
Right.
to date him, but I wasn't in any cool cliques or anything like
Yeah.
that. Whatever. I had just come to this high school, whatever. And I took a little note and I stuck it in his locker. There was like little holes in the locker, and I stuck it in his locker.
Once
like,
it's in there, you can't take it
no,
back.
no. I was like, you're hot or whatever. And so I think he finally caught on it was me, right? And mind you, I'm young. I'm 16 maybe. I don't know. I mean, I was 16 when I lost my virginity. 15 or 16, right around there. I was pretty young, but I was actually dating a boy for like a year or something, whatever. This was after the fact. And so I'm totally in love with this guy, right? And he doesn't know I exist. So he's like, all right, yeah, let's meet up. And I'm like, oh my God, he wants to date me now,
Yeah.
let's meet up. And I'll be honest, like, I was in my car and we had sex in my car, and it was awful. It was awful.
Yeah.
It was like,
car sex is awful.
yeah, like,
Don't do
I
it.
was so young, and I was
Yeah.
like, I wish somebody would have told me that wasn't really
Yeah.
right, And don't get me wrong, you're teenagers are gonna do stupid shit, and they're gonna have sex in cars and rooms and media rooms like my fucking kids did. I know, whatever. I know that's a little too much, but I was really like, oh my God, this is gonna make this guy want to date me and love me and whatever. And that was it.
Well, yeah.
That was it.
And then he never talked to you again.
No, never talked to me again. And I was just
Asshole.
like, what the hell? What the hell was that? Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't educated enough to know that wasn't going to keep him.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
And from that, I learned. I'm like, oh, okay, well, guys are just going to want you for one thing. And that always stuck in my head. And when you have kids and you start to tell them when they're getting to that age, 12, 13, because it's so young now, like, hey, be careful with this, watch this, don't touch this, don't do,
Yeah.
because girls think of it, a lot of girls think of it differently. There are
Yeah.
some little girls who are little hoes out there, don't get me wrong, because
Yeah.
I've seen and heard. But for the most part, the girls are like, oh, I want to, he's my Prince Charming,
Yeah, he's my
and-
boyfriend.
yeah,
We're gonna be together forever.
and then there's still guys out there, they're like, let me just have a piece and I'm on my way,
Yeah.
And I just,
Exactly.
I really try, even as my kids as adults, I just really try to say, just try to be respectful, you're adults, you can do whatever you want to do, but just still be respectful of that situation. I'm not saying that boys are the only ones who do it. Girls do it too.
Oh yeah, it's
They're-
like a control thing. I think
yeah,
sometimes
girls are like, I'll just hook up with him and him and him and him and him, and that's, hey,
Yeah,
that's
to
what we're
each his
gonna do
own.
too. We're not judging anybody. We're
Right.
talking to you from our experiences. So
Yeah.
that was one of my first kind of like, wow, what did I just do? Experience that was so, to me, intimate, and then it was done.
as they would say, ghosted today, right?
Yeah. We didn't have ghosted back then,
No.
but no. And I
Yeah.
see him in the hallways, and he just like ignored me, like
Yeah.
he never even fucking knew me, and I was just like, wow, okay. So
Yeah.
so that was just, the teenage years were really kind of tough for me in different ways,
Yeah.
because like didn't have my dad around, so yeah, I had daddy issues, and you're trying to find those people that, oh, this is the person, or oh,
Yeah.
go to a party, oh, this is the person, and they're not.
Yeah, my teens, going back that far to my teens, well, if those that have listened to us and me talk about my story, at 13, I was raped.
Mm-hmm.
So in my teens, my little brain thought that's how you get a boy to like you.
Yeah, no,
So-
a lot of girls
Right.
think that way. That's not how a boy
No.
is gonna get you.
No. So I was having sex because I just wanted somebody to like me, and again thought it was going to keep them, right?
Yeah.
So I think not only your parents, but my upbringings in the church. We've talked about that before. I think the church really needs to take a healthy approach to sex and not just say it's wrong and bad until you get married, right?
Right.
So if they teach you lessons, they teach you what to look out for, how to protect yourself, then I think kids would be a lot better off. So that's kind of what my teens were, was a lot of, oh, I think he likes me, here, I'll have sex with him, or I'll admit it, there was one time where I had this crush on a boy, but his best friend came on to me and we had sex outside of the house after a choir party. Outside, by the side of the house, outside. Who does that? Fire ant beds everywhere, right? It wasn't healthy.
Outside of your house of that happening too, the rape thing?
Yeah, everything's outside of a house.
Outside of the fucking house.
So
Stay away from the side of the house.
So yeah, it's like,
I mean, we're like, I'm not making light of that.
No.
100% promise.
yeah, just don't go
this
to
is
the
my
side of the
girl.
house.
But when you said that, I was like, wasn't that the side of the house?
Well, there was a baseball field once at night at a park, which probably could have got me taken to jail or us to jail right by the main street. But again, you're not thinking.
Me and my
at all.
girlfriend. So, and I'll tell you another thing that happened when we were kids is that my best friend, when I was a kid, when I was a teenager, we were a little wild, and I was living in the suburbs, and we would go to the city and meet up with my older guy friends that I knew, and she met one of them and she got pregnant at 17.
Oh, wow.
So her and I were pregnant at, not me, she was, but she was my best friend. So I was there 100%. Taking care of her, taking care of her belly. She was actually living with us. It was a whole thing. And then she had a kid at 17 while we were in high school. And I will be happy to say that they're still together, that family, and they have grandkids and everything's wonderful. But it doesn't always work out that way.
That's the exception.
That is the exception. They stay together, and I'm sure it wasn't easy. They ended up having another daughter later, but who were my goddaughters and whatever, but that again is very rare.
Yes.
But we experienced that, and so let's move on to our 20s. So now we're past our teens, we're into our 20s.
I talked about my 20s, so what were your 20s like?
My 20s were crazy, like not too crazy, but crazy, because keep in mind, I met my ex-husband when I was 19, and we worked together, but we weren't dating because I was living with somebody else. And so, I had a little bit of time there where I broke up with that guy and I moved back home. And so I had some time to meet frat boys, which those frat boys, man, I met one and he looked like Johnny's dad. And to this day we are friends, but he was so fucking hot. I wanted to marry him. God, yeah. And the funny part about it is that we met up many years later as adults.
Interesting.
As big boys and girls, right?
Big boys.
That's another story. But anyways, so our 20s were kind of, short 20s, because I ended up moving to Texas, moved back to Chicago, had my fun. By 23, when I was 23 years old, I had like the best time. I was having the best time with my friends. I was having so much fun. I was having some sex, trying to be very careful, because we really think that you should be careful, because,
We do now.
But yeah, true. I had a great time. I had a couple of one-night stands and whatnot, whatever, some old friends, whatever. And then I came here and I met my husband. Well, I didn't meet him, but I got together with my husband when I was 24. So my 20s with my husband, because we were together from 24 to almost 43. Like, we were together 20 years, almost 20 years. And so I love sex. We had a lot of sex. We would try anything and everything.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything until the end of my marriage, and I'll talk about that later, because now I'll be in my 40s when we talk about that.
Yeah.
But my 20s and 30s, I was wild.
Yeah.
I liked having sex. I had 3 kids,
And you still like having sex.
Yeah. You still like having sex. It's easy. things happen quickly. You know, guys can have erections pretty fast, you know, in your 20s and 30s. You're excited to be with each other. You try it when, especially when you have kids, you try to find different places to do it because
to spice it up.
Yeah, because the kids are there all the time, all the time, you know. So, so we in my 20s and my 30s. I loved it, and it was great, and I was pretty damn good at it.
So, well, and I have to rephrase because it wasn't my 20s, it was my 30s that I actually talked about. Because remember, I blocked out when I was married to the girl's dad. I got married at 19.
Yes.
So let me talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was your 30s because that's when you were divorced,
right. So in my 20s, got married at 19. So I was the devoting little housewife. But sex with us, of course, when we were, you know, engaged, it was fun, I guess exciting, because he was kind of a bad boy. If anybody looks up what the Honda Hurricanes, those crotch rockets were back in the day, the 80s, red and white, beautiful bike.
That was your husband?
Yeah, my husband, the girl's dad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so we had fun riding on the bike, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, but once we got married, it's like I was dealing with, again, the religion about sex is bad, you know, all of this kind of stuff. So once I got married, it didn't feel any different. So it became like it was a chore. It was something I had to service my husband. And then if I didn't, he would get mad and he would drop little hints or anything like that. And so in my 20s, it wasn't good. I didn't like it. I hated it. And yes, I had 2 beautiful children out of that, but it just was not fun for me. Which I said it when I got into my 30s, I felt like my 30s were my 20s because I got married young. I didn't have that whole exploratory period or do what I want. So I like to say I spent 2 years of partying, sex, all of that. Like a decade's worth of your 20s in 2 years. It wasn't pretty. It was ugly. It was awful.
I helped her care a lot of the times. I picked her up off the floor a few times. It was all good.
It was one of those things where.
But she's in the same room,
So to me, I partied hard and everything to make up for what I didn't have in my 20s. So my 30s were really good. There was a time where it was all about me. And then that's when I met my now husband. We met 24 years ago or something like that now, which is crazy to even think. Yeah, so I was in my 30s when I met my now husband. And so that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I had this whole where I was like trying to make up for lost time. Because everybody had that time and I didn't. So I was like, so again, there were bad decisions because I would go to the bar by myself because I didn't want accountability. And of course, I went home with people. I stayed overnight and then I would leave and I didn't know who they were, which is great, right? I could have been abducted and died somewhere. Oh gosh.
I was in high school. We picked up a hitchhiker.
It's like
it was crazy. We could have been snatched.
Yeah, it's like,
but
we just didn't think about that stuff at all.
We didn't.
You can trust
we
everybody.
were going to a party. We picked him up, and next thing you know, I was like, dude, he's hot. And I was I was just, I don't know. It was what it was. And you know, when you're going through it, you see it in a different view, right? But then when you see your kids, when you have kids, and some people may have kids, may not have kids, but when you see your kids going through it, you're like, oh my God, can you just
listen to me.
And you have girls, so girls, it's even, again, scarier because they can get pregnant, right? But all of them, whether it's a boy or girl, the boy can get a girl pregnant too, you know? And they think, a lot of times people are like, oh, you know, you don't need to tell a boy what to do. He knows what to do. No, you need to tell them too. Cover that shit up because there's girls out there doing it with multiple boys. Like we're saying, trying to find that person, you know, and so you don't know what's out there, especially nowadays.
Well, it's like the 80s was real big with AIDS. Remember that? And it's like whether it was needles or they thought it was a homosexual community. So, or the gay community.
Nobody really knew.
Nobody knew. But you could have sex with someone who had sex with somebody else that got it. And we didn't think about any of that. It's not going to happen to me and all of that. So there was all of that stuff going on, and you are just tunnel vision that you're going to have sex with this person, and you don't think about it like the next morning what's going to happen. You're just in that moment.
And us having kids that are in their 20s and now 30s, you know, some are in relationships, but some aren't, and which is okay. We still want to make sure that their sex life is satisfying to them,
Right.
and what that looks like. And you know, girls get hurt, boys get hurt. You know, it's the same thing. I know we have boys in our lives that were madly in love with girls, and that didn't work out so well, you know, and it hurt them. It really did. But they're so strong, and they're totally moving on with their life so much better, I think.
I think so too.
I think they're so much better with where they are in life right now, my boys, and but that doesn't change the fact that they still have to go out there and date. And I know my boys, my stepson is my boy. I will call him that because I love him like he's my own. And I know that my son too, they want to get married, they want to have children, they, you know, and there's these girls out there that are so crazy.
Yeah.
They're so crazy, and I want them to stay away from my kids. But anyways, so let's go back to sex. I know I'm reeling here. Let's go back to the sex.
I think you need to take a drink.
I need to take
let's take a drink.
The margaritas are so good.
I know.
So anyways, so back to the sex part of it. So you're in your 20s and everything's feeling great down there, feeling great up here. The guys,
you're trying things.
You're trying new things. It's so funny. There was a period of time where I was single when I was older after Rob passed away, and I hooked up with this guy who was way younger than me, way younger.
Who hasn't?
Yeah, I like those youngins. And it was actually kind of funny because now I'm experienced. I have 2 marriages under my belt. And when you're married, like, especially when I was married to Bob, like, nothing was off limits.
Yeah, we heard one of those stories last time.
Nothing was off limits. Like, we're talking anything. I'm gonna tell you another little story. But anyways, so nothing was off limits. So when you're with the person you love and you feel safe and you feel comfortable, then you can explore and experiment on things, right? So this young dude that I was dating, he was in his, I'll say late 20s maybe, and he was hotter than fuck. He's so hot. But like, we're messing around, we're doing stuff, whatever, and I'm like, all right, you want to try something fun? And he's like, he was always just like vanilla, you know, like, I don't know, I've never tried any, I never, you know, because he had never really met the person that he was safe with, right?
Yeah.
I said, dude, don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. When you go in saying that, then all of a sudden they're like, what? Yeah, they're like, what are you doing? So I'm gonna tell you this one story. So we're making out, we're doing whatever, and I bring out candle wax. And it's the one that you buy from like the toy store or whatever. So I'm bringing out wax. He's like, what the fuck is that? What are you gonna do? You're gonna light me on fire? I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna light you on fire. I said, can you just trust me? I promise you'll like this. He's like, I don't know. He's like freaking out. And this guy, hot as he was, he was like 6'4", 6'5". He's ginormous, right? Everything was ginormous. But anyways, so I'm on top of him, right? And I take like the wax. I mean, if you've ever touched wax, it hurts a little bit, but then it goes away, right? So I'm on top of him and I take the little wax and I like let it drip on him. He goes, ah! And he threw me off the bed and I fucking hit the wall. And then I'm down on the ground. I'm like, God, what? I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, that was so hot. I mean, it was a tiny little piece of wax. I'm like, are you crazy?
Oh my God.
And he's like, that's crazy. I'm like, you need to calm down. Like, he threw me, like, he tossed me across the fucking room.
You ended up with bruises on yourself hitting the wall.
I thought it was hilarious. So needless to say, we continued, and
Yeah.
he got used to it, and he actually ended up liking it. But that was my experience with a youngin.
Yeah.
And back in the day.
Yeah, I had a youngin, and this jumps to the 40s, in my 40s. But yeah, it was probably,
I
oh
think
gosh.
we were kinkier in our 40s.
Yeah, 40s are a great decade because
Don't let people tell you otherwise.
yourself. But yeah, he was probably,
We still look like this.
yeah.
in our 40s.
So he was 25 and he looked like Brad Paisley. So you can just picture that.
Country
And
singer.
yeah, it was, so there was probably a 18-year age difference between the two of us, but it was fun, right? It was so much
When you
fun.
know it's just fun, and you know.
Well, and I think with that also, jumping into my 40s, I was more secure with myself. I feel like I was a very late bloomer. So I knew myself, I knew what I liked, and I felt very powerful and in control. And there was like a time frame where I was like, it's all about me.
Right.
It's always been about everybody else. If I like you, I like you. If I don't have sex with you, I'm gonna have sex with you. If I don't, I don't. And then go away. Don't try to be in a relationship with me. I don't want that.
Right.
So to me, that felt very freeing
And powerful.
because it was on my terms. So I didn't do anything like crazy or whatever. It was, I mean,
She's lying to you.
Well-
I saw crazy this time.
yeah, but it was just fun. I just remember that time frame being fun.
Yeah.
And so there's something very freeing about that when you make it think of, for a woman.
Yeah.
A man usually thinks about himself. But with a woman, when you think about yourself and your needs and what you want, then it's just like, just let it all out.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And you enjoy it so much
Oh,
more
yeah.
because when you're younger, you're like, I gotta please them, I gotta make them happy, and they're, young guys don't think about what
No.
you want. There are some maybe, but younger ones are just kind of like, I just want to do this, get in now, let's be done. Okay, you can go now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying every guy is like that. I'm
Our
just saying,
experience.
yeah, from a lot of this experience that we had, it was just kind of like one and done thing, And then when you get into your 30s, you have more of like men that are either in like long-term relationships, they're thinking about families,
Right.
so they're with their wives or whatever, and it's a little bit, I don't want to say vanilla, because there are 30-year-olds out there hanging from the trees and chandeliers, and that's great.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I think it has a lot to do with your responsibilities because
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
young kids. You got to get in and get out. It's 5 minutes. It's on a Thursday night
Yes.
at 3 or 3:30 in
And
the
you're so
afternoon because they're
tired.
napping. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you do it when you have time or you
Time.
can fit it in. It's
Right.
not really about. It's really about sex then because
Yes.
you're both just trying to get off.
Quickies are okay,
Yeah.
because that's the only time
Right.
you have them, right?
And you have to make time for that anyway. It's
Right.
like you can't not make time for that.
So yeah, so and let's talk about 30-year-olds that are not married, that are still out there either dating or still looking for the person of who they want to be with, or maybe they're just having fun and decided, hey, I don't really want to get married, I just want to date, and that's okay, because as long as you're safe. And I continue to tell my kids that, I continue to tell my friends that are younger, because I do have younger friends, and I'm just like, passion and excitement can take
Yeah.
over and take the best of you, and you're in the heat of the moment, and then all of a sudden you're just like, oh fuck it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But that can last forever, and it can affect you having children, it can
Yeah.
affect a lot of things, and so if you are single in your 30s or 20s or whatever, just make sure you're being safe out
Yeah.
there. And I'm not only talking about physically safe, like condoms or birth control or whatever, but like putting yourself in situations that, like we
Get
did,
some
picking up
accountability,
hitchhikers and
Yeah.
doing shit with them, and then going,
Yeah.
okay, see ya,
Not
'cause-
telling anybody where
No.
you went that night because you don't want accountability, right?
Because since then, there's Jeffrey Dahmer, and there is
Ted Bundy,
Ted
all
Bundy.
kinds of crazies out there.
yeah,
They
they're-
look really pretty and they're handsome, and it's like you would never
John
think they're gonna.
Gacy.
Yeah, they're never
yeah.
gonna like chop your head off or something.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So so just be safe. Don't we're not going to lecture you on
No.
dating. We're just trying to talk about sex right now.
Yeah.
We're still talking about sex. But anyway, so 30s are really fun because you can also experiment and try stuff, and don't be afraid to try things.
Yeah.
And this is going to come up later on in our personal stuff, because when you don't try things in your 20s or your 30s and you're just so vanilla, okay, we're just gonna have sex missionary position, and God told us that this is the only way we're supposed to be married and procreate, whatever, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out on life. You're missing out on connection. You're missing out on fun. And I'm not saying go to a restaurant and have sex in the bathroom, like some people do. I don't know. But explore. Use toys.
Yeah.
Use creams. Use
Lotion.
You can use
oil.
wax.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are not harmful, and if you're with somebody that you feel safe with, then it's actually enjoyable, and it makes it exciting,
Well, it's like you can also get little outfits, and some people like to dress up, some people like the garter belts and all of that, and some people just like 90s, but it's like trying to wear whatever works for your relationship. Wear something different. Don't go to bed in your boxers and your tank top and expect to have raunchy sex. It probably isn't going to work too well.
My husband told me that gave him the ick, what I wear to bed. We were talking about icks, and it was actually when we were watching the Nikki Glaser thing, and I said, "What gives you the ick?" And he goes, "When you come to bed with those gray shorts and that T-shirt." I'm like, "Oh God!"
Well,
so
I'm
I go buy all these matching pajama shirts, because I don't want to give my husband the ick when we go to bed. But
cute little satin things.
I get cold. But anyways, all right. So I was going to tell you, again, experimenting with stuff. So when I was with Rob, he and I had. He and I just had the best sex because we just loved each other so much, and we were inseparable in everything. And so one of the things that we would do, which would be kind of fun, is you can role play. Role playing is fun, and it really kind of gets the juices going, And so one of our role plays was, I love Victoria's Secrets. I know everybody's gonna say that guy is a pedophile and Epstein. I don't give a shit. I love Victoria's Secret. I own every fucking bra and
you love their clothes, everything about it.
I've worked
what
at
little
them.
clothes they are.
I love them. They have all sizes now. But anyways, so every year they used to have the Victoria's Secret runway show. So I would put on a runway show for Rob. He would buy me all these fun Victoria's Secret outfits, and then I had this white carpet from my old house or whatever. I had this piece of white carpet, and we'd roll out the white carpet, and he'd sit in this chair, and I would go in the bathroom and I would change my outfits, and then we'd put music on, and I'd walk down.
Did you have wings?
I do. He bought me 2 wings. So I have black wings and I have white wings. And so I would wear my wings, pretending I was a Victoria's Secret model, and I would be walking with my little outfits, and then I'd do my little dance.
That sounds so fun.
It was so fun. We used to just
playful.
Very playful. And there wasn't anything wrong with that. It was, that's my husband. It was just so much fun, and he loved it. They love watching shit. They love watching shit as much as we don't like to.
They're very visual creatures.
Oh, they are. And I love the little outfits. I think I was in pretty good shape back then, and it was just a lot of fun. And I kind of miss those days. We don't really have those days now, which
we'll talk about here. We're going to take a break in just a minute, but we'll talk about that whole later. We're kind of where we are now.
We're still in our 20s and 30s, and actually, 20s, late 30s, 40s, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But role playing is fun. Wear cute little outfits and, just things like that, because it's fun. And it's, let me tell you, God is not judging you saying, "Oh my God, sure you shouldn't be wearing that nurse's outfit." He's not. He really isn't.
Well, you're with your partner and you're in love, and that's what it's supposed to be about, right?
Have fun. Yeah. And you would be surprised that guys will do anything you ask them.
They like our lady parts, right? They don't have
our
that.
hidden gardens.
So one of my funnest memories, and it's with my now husband. When we first dated, we went to a Halloween party with some people that he worked with on this big. It was like one of those big barns that they had. They cleared out, and there was probably 60 people there. Well, I dressed up like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader, and I had made my little shorts and I had my little go-go boots on, and I'll give Patricia a picture so she can put it up.
Yeah.
But I could have passed for one. I looked that good. Well, we were having a good time drinking and stuff like that. So we went outside of the house, but this is a good one.
On the side of the freaking house.
So we go on, and because I was wearing those shorts, he just kind of pulled him to the side. And I have no idea who was watching or if anybody was watching. We were too into the moment.
And you probably never saw those people again.
Well, we did probably the next year to crawfish or whatever. But the thing about it is, like, it was raw, unbridled sex, and it was fun, and it was spontaneous, and
fun.
oh yeah,
it is.
It was totally fun. So that's kind of
sex.
dressing up and costumey, and he wore like he doesn't dress up, but he wore like Troy Aikman's jersey. But I had the full getup on. But it was a lot of fun. So that's one of my favorite ones. But then we also. At his house that was out in the country, he had a broken washing machine that he was going to haul off to the dump. So he propped me up on the washing machine and went to town on the washing machine.
In the middle, even when they're on, they're even better.
Right, in the middle of nowhere, outside, which makes it even more kind of risky because even though the neighbors weren't close, it's like you don't know who's taking a walk in the neighborhood or, So, great memories. Spontaneous was the thing, and they were just fun. Did they last very long? From my recollection, no, but it wasn't about that. It was about just getting your orgasm off, right? And just having fun. So those are two really good memories I have.
Those are good memories.
Yeah, they were fun. And you talked about yours, public places. So
public places. Yeah, public places. I don't. Well, I do.
You remind me when you said role play. If you've ever seen Four Christmases with Reese Witherspoon and what is his name? Like his name slips me. Vince Vaughn, yeah. And at the very beginning, they're like,
no, we did that too.
And she's like Daphne, and he's whatever his name. And so then they end up, they do their little role play like they don't know each other. And then they end up in the bathroom just having this raunchy sex. And then they walk out like, oh, that was great.
Robin, I did that.
That made me think.
I bought a wig. I bought a red wig, like auburn. And back then, my hair was a little bit darker. But I took that red wig and I put it on and I sat at the end of a bar and he walked in like he didn't know me.
Sounds like so much fun.
It was so much fun. And again, you just have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, to me, that's fun because they get you back in that kind of flirtatious mode when you first met somebody, right?
Yes.
And who come, and it's like this good-looking guy comes up and sits by you, and you just start talking, and you get all the butterflies, and you start getting worked up. Yeah, to me, that's fun. That rekindles that spice that you have, I think that's great.
I think we're going to take a quick break.
Yep.
And then we're going to come back and talk about the not so fun.
Yeah.
Because we've given you all the good stuff.
Yeah.
Some juicy stuff.
Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about what life is like now.
Yes.
Smarter energy, smarter home.
Okay, so now I think we're going to get into our 40s and 50s and the differences between what we were talking about before, our teenage years and our 20s and 30s, because everything is so nice and slippery when wet.
Yeah, exactly.
And you have all this urges. And even like in my 40s, I was dating a little bit, after my husband passed away. And I was dating older guys. Well, no, I dated some younger guys, but I really didn't date them. I just kind of hooked up with them. But and that was great.
Hookup was the right word.
Yeah, but when I started dating, it came to the little blue pill. And that was surprising for me, not only because I thought I was really good at what I was doing in life, and with sex. But when you're older and things don't work the way they're supposed to, and it, I won't say especially because it's the same thing for women and men, but men when they're in their 50s, 60s, whatever, things don't work like they used to. I mean, I even know some men in their 40s that things don't work like they used to.
Right.
We eat so much processed food now.
Yeah.
There's so much shit in the environment, a lot of medications that we take that just doesn't get you either excited, wet,
Right.
uh,
It takes longer to, like you say, get excited. That's the
Yes.
biggest thing. What
Yeah.
used to work doesn't work anymore.
Exactly. And so now that we are vintage, we've dealt with a lot of that kind of stuff in our personal relationships and also with our friends. Like I have friends in their 40s, like this is this really what's happening? What's happening to my body? Why can I not feel this? Why does this hurt?
Right. Yeah.
Why don't I have like sex drive? And again, back to like what we're eating, medications, a lot of stuff that prevents us from enjoying what we just always used to love to do.
Right. Yeah. I
So
know.
do you have any experiences, or what do you want?
Yeah, mine is like when I mentioned things work that don't work anymore. It's like I even think with like toys. Toys don't work. It's like everything just it just seems like it takes longer.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's just like my whole body feels weird. I'm more tired now. I just don't have the stamina. I don't have the energy, and so all my stuff is planned.
Yeah.
And we have to use a lot of lube and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that helps.
And the thing is like you feel like you're 20 years old.
Oh yeah.
You feel like you're 20. You are excited. You want to be with your partner. And then your body's going, you're not 20 years old anymore. And so that's kind of where back in your 20s and 30s, when you are experimenting and trying with things, you're going to have to do that in your older years too.
Right.
Because if you don't use different things or try different things, your sex life will be gone.
Yeah,
It
non-existent.
really will, because you won't be acceptant to anything like that.
Yeah.
And so you really need to be open-minded with your partner to be able to use things, talk about it.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in my 50s, we still look great though.
Yeah.
But things are different. Like I think about sex all the time. I really do. However, my body doesn't think about sex all the time. My body's like going, what the fuck? Where are you? What land are you living in? And so when I was younger, I wasn't a big toys fan. I was just like, give me the real thing.
That's how I was too.
I thought we were a little different because I thought you liked toys more back in the day.
No,
than I did. Yeah. But so anyway, so I was like, give me the real thing. Toys are fun, yes, whatever. But that wasn't really a thing. And then now it's a little different because we're older. Toys help quite a bit, and lubrication, obviously.
To me, it's a must because that's another thing with your body changing. And it helps the man too as well. It's like it is painful, and nobody wants it to be painful because then you don't want to do it at all.
Yeah. What really surprised me is I saw a commercial with Holly Berry. And she's in her 50s as well, and she's beautiful. If you guys don't know, she's a famous actress. And she came out and she's just like, oh my God, this isn't working. Nothing's working down there. What is happening? And it physically, your vaginal walls physically change. They become thinner. It's a whole nother thing. And I know it's kind of like, ew, gross. But it's life. It's like, and she was like, courageous enough to come out and go, look, this isn't working for me, but I'm using this, I'm using that, and oh man, everything's great now. So you got to be open to all of that because our minds aren't changing about like really wanting it. We just don't want to hurt.
Right.
And then also our significant others or people in those age groups that are going through this are also thinking like, oh man, I have to prep for it because we can't just go in the bathroom anymore.
Now it feels like work.
Yeah,
You have
now
to
it's
prep
like
and it
you gotta,
the
you,
spontaneous stuff goes away.
which sucks. It
Yeah.
really sucks, but that's just part about getting older. But don't let not being able. I mean, you can be spontaneous if you plan it.
Yeah.
And so here I will give an example. Again, remember I told my husband
Yeah.
we were talking about this, and remember I like it all over the place, right? And we were okay. And then now put me on a boat.
Oh yeah, on a boat. Yeah.
I'm on a boat in Chicago, and I'm like, this is it. We are joining the Mile High Club Boat Club, whatever. The yacht club, whatever the fuck we are. I'm like, so I text him, like, meet me downstairs. You know,
Yeah.
this was a few years ago. I'm like, meet me downstairs, ready for this shit, you know? And I was 100% ready for this shit, you know? And unfortunately, like, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to give me more time. I'm like, time, you know?
I text you and said
I
meet me
text
here.
you, but like again, our bodies
Yeah.
are working very differently, and it is nothing against anybody. And again,
Right.
he knows we're talking about all this. This is just life, and that happens when you start to get older.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to say, okay, we're going on a boat ride.
Be prepared.
Take your shit. Because in 30 minutes, I'm going to have you come downstairs to the bathroom.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I also think with that, you could do a lot of kind of foreplay over your clothes in a way to
Yeah,
where you,
yeah.
if you don't want to be doing it in the bathroom,
Yeah.
you can work yourselves up to the minute you get back to the hotel. It's on. Everybody's worked up to that point. So
But I
you
like
can
it on
do,
a boat.
yeah. But it's like you can do a little bit of both. It's like you just find out, do you want to be spontaneous on the boat or do you want to play around and do that flirtatious thing, right? You know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think you, again, as you get older, you have to plan. Now, because my body's tired all the time. My husband jokes that I need like 10 hours of sleep at night and he can run on 6. And I do. I don't say I'm a bitch, but I need my sleep. So for us, it's Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings are the laziest day of the week. We sleep late. There's no alarm. It's kind of lazy, whatever, until like noon. So it's always, that's our time, right?
Yeah.
And it's all, not like we're not like rabbits anymore. And it doesn't last hours, but it's very intimate at the same time. And that's what I crave now is the intimacy with my partner. But to make it fun, he likes his coffee in the morning. So what I do is I go make his coffee naked. So I go in there and I walk around, prance around the house. And then that's just a fun thing. And it's like, it's been a great morning. We've had great sex. And I've done coffee naked for my husband.
Naked coffee.
Naked
Mine
coffee.
is-
So try that. Naked coffee.
Mine is naked pizza in hotel rooms.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Because I love hotel rooms. I like, you know, Rob and I went to, I don't know how many hotel rooms. And it actually started with a hurricane. It was my birthday. My birthday's in September. And of course, that is hurricane season. So we were in Miami in a hotel. And it was Hurricane or Tropical Storm Rita, whenever that was.
Yeah.
Coming through, and we're watching it all from the hotel, thinking like we're gonna die, but we're gonna die naked, and we're gonna
have
have pizza
sex before we die.
Yes, so it was naked pizza, and that was just fun. So I love that, and so I
Yeah.
actually kind of kept that little thing going, and so my husband and I do that
Yeah.
occasionally, you know. But it's just kind of fun, you know, stuff, just little things that you guys can create
Yeah.
together with your partner, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your significant other, your whatever, your throuple, figure the shit out,
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, you know. Communication is a big thing. The other thing I would have to say is, and again, a lot of people don't talk about this, is that with women, we go through menopause
Yeah.
at a certain age, and some even like I have friends that are in their 40s going through
Yeah.
it.
And it sucks.
It's horrible. It's really
awful.
horrible. And yes, there's all sorts of medications, there's all sorts of creams, there's all sorts of natural stuff, there's all this stuff. But it affects your sex life too, because you could be snuggling up to your significant other and you are like on fire.
Right.
Like your body feels like you are on fire.
And you have beads of sweat
Oh,
coming up
and
on
you're
your
like-
skin. Like
kind of
don't-
like you don't want, don't touch me, and you
Yeah.
feel bad because they don't understand.
Yeah.
They're just like, what is happening to you? Like, why can't I touch you? And because you feel gross. You feel,
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever watch the Fantastic Four and the fire guy, you know, that is how it feels. It's terrible.
So I had a hot flash sitting on the love seat. Like my husband and I, like we'll do Friday night movies and do pizza. That's just kind of our thing. And so we're sitting on the love seat, and all of a sudden I said, "Here comes a hot flash," and he's like right next to my arm, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a hot flash." It was like I just turned
crazy.
like, yeah, it was awful.
I have a magic pill. Let me just say, my doctor is amazing. I have a magic pill, so I don't get any of that. I love her to death because I don't experience any of that. But every once in a while, there's a here and there, right?
Yeah.
And when I wanted my husband to understand what was happening, because they don't see it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you're not like, you know, you don't like light up like a flame. It's just takes over you. So I take his hand just so he fucking gets excited and he understands. And I go like this, stick it down like in the middle of my boobs so that he feels the sweat, like the instant sweat that comes up immediately. And so
And
he
it's
gets,
like, it's
he gets
gross.
excited, but then he's all like,
He's
holy
like,
shit,
"Ooh,
you know?
we need to go take a shower now."
Yeah,
It's
well,
gross.
and you know what? Honestly, guys love everything.
Yeah.
They don't fucking, they don't care. They don't
Well,
fucking
I think
care.
too, it's like I've noticed with myself is that I just don't have the desire to. It's like it's just not there, and I am very sexually attracted to my husband. He's the only one I've ever felt safe with having sex with, where
Yeah.
I will do anything or try anything because I feel that my body's safe with him.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the desire, and and I'll admit it may be like 3 weeks or something. Some people go like, "Man, do you have it every 3 weeks?" But for me,
happens.
it's like I just don't have the energy to do it. And that's another thing. It's like your brain is like, what do I need to do? But a pill doesn't work, a cream doesn't work. Your body is just changing, and menopause jacks with all of that, and it's not fair.
No.
So you
And
just
it happens with men too.
Yeah.
Like men go through their some too. They get embarrassed. They're just
Yeah.
like, I want it so bad,
Mhm.
but I have to prep for it too, you
Right.
know? And again, communication is just the biggest thing when you're trying to find intimacy. And as you get older, you start to find different things that create intimacy
Yeah.
and sex. Which I know it's hard for some of these youngins out there listening to us because
Yeah.
they're like, we're gonna fuck like bunnies.
Yeah.
We get that.
We used to fuck like bunnies.
We still can. We
Yeah.
just, you know,
We have
but
to prepare.
but the point is that as you get older, some of the intimacy changes in different ways.
Mhm.
You know, you can still be physical, you can still touch, you can still, you know, do stuff. You can still have sex. I mean, you know, there's lots of different ways to have sex and stuff like that. But it does change from when we were teenagers and when we were in our 20s, and you know, and I continue to say we have kids in those age groups, so
Yeah.
enjoy the shit out of each
Yeah.
other because it's not as enjoyable now. But
So sorry, I'm having a squirrel moment, but I just noticed myself in the camera because I'm wearing a tube top. See, but when I'm sitting here, we're talking about sex,
like
and
you're
I'm
naked.
and I look like I'm naked. It's like,
I planned it that way because I like to see her naked.
but I just sorry, I had a big scroll talking about sex, and I look like I'm naked for our podcast. So maybe we'll blow up with 9 million viewers.
That would
You know,
be
'cause I
nice.
think this woman's in a restaurant sitting here naked.
So now we've hit to where we're at. We do want to share a couple of things with you. We're gonna actually give you some educational information. We are gonna go to a sex shop, and we're going to show you and kind of teach you some of the things that either we've tried or maybe you can try, and talk about that. So that's going to be part of this podcast. And that way, you know, again, there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's natural.
Yeah.
Help is good. Questions are good. And there's so many different things. And I'm not even saying you have to go to a sex shop. I'm not saying go to a seedy place in New York
Yeah.
City and go underground. Buy shit They have shit at Walmart.
Right.
Okay. They have shit
Yeah,
at
they
Target.
do.
They
Yeah.
really do.
You could go anywhere and get it,
Yeah.
you know.
As long as you make each other happy.
Right.
However that looks for you.
There's
And-
something to me about like thinking I'm 90 years old with my husband and we can still get it on. It may not last very long, but you know, I mean, who doesn't want to think that people are so in love at that age and they still desire each other, as pruny, wrinkled as you are, you know, and it's like you still have sex. Who doesn't want to have that? I hope I'm that way. I'm going to work towards that, but there's, I don't know.
If not, her and I will always have sex.
Yeah, our
Because
husband.
that's what we promised each
Women
other.
live longer, so we already are planning to build us a big house and live together in our
Men
old
just have
age.
sex
Yeah.
all the time. So we're gonna leave you with that. Our moaning. Oh, we didn't have a moaning. Did you have a moaning this week?
Oh gosh, let me think of one. Do you have one up top of your head? The only one I can think is like it has to be around like we talk about TV shows and like that. I'm so happy that the Dutton Ranch is on. We talked about
Yeah,
that.
that's good.
So my moan is more like excitement, which kind of goes
excitement,
along with
okay.
sex, right?
Yeah.
Is Rip, of course. Oh my God,
he
that
is
man!
cute.
Oh, he is a manly man.
He
But
is a
yeah,
manly
the
man.
show is so good. So
It
I'm
is good.
hooked. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
I
guess
like
my
that.
moan would be how much I love the Dutton Ranch. It is so good. So
Okay.
little short one.
I don't really. There isn't anybody that. I don't. Okay, this might be a little weird.
Well, you talked about Sacha Baron Cohen at one time,
Oh,
and at
he's
first
so
I was
hot.
like, "What?" Well,
No,
now I see
He
it.
is
Right?
fucking hot.
Yeah.
And he was recently in a movie with Mark
Balls
Wahlberg.
up.
Yes.
Oh my God,
that
that's
was
so funny.
hilarious.
My cheeks hurt so
That's
bad
so
laughing
funny.
at that. It's very raunchy if you do go watch it. It is not a kid friendly movie, but funny.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna moan about Pink today.
Oh,
The singer Pink.
she is pretty freaking hot.
She is fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
And let me just say why it came up this week. I love her. I love all her music. I saw her in concert. She's amazing. She's so talented. She's a great mom. She's a great wife. She speaks her mind.
Yeah.
I love it. But I watched the Tony Awards and she hosted it.
Oh,
And I was
wow.
like, well, this is kind of different because usually Doogie Howser, what's his name?
Neil Patrick Harris.
He usually
Yeah.
does it, but they brought her in, and you know she does all her little acrobat stuff
Yeah.
because
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so cool. And Neil Patrick Harris kind of came out too, but like she was singing, she was dancing, she was making the crowd laugh, and then like her entrance, like the whole beginning of the show was all about kind of like the Moulin Rouge song that she sings,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
She
God,
had
I love that.
everybody in an uproar, standing ovation, and then she came out and sang Chicago, the movie.
Yeah.
Pink was fucking hot. She should go to Broadway, 100%, because I think her daughter really loves Broadway
Oh,
shows
yeah.
too and stuff like that. But I was so impressed with her hosting, and she looked hot as ever. She's probably in her 40s too.
Yeah.
And she just was her voice still sounds amazing. Her body is bomb.
She is like
and
fine wine. She gets better with age.
let me moan for
Yeah.
Pink today because she was fucking hot. So that's my moan for today. So we're so glad you joined us. Stay tuned for the little educational portion of this.
And hopefully you like this, doing something different.
Yeah.
So.
If you are in the Metroplex of the DFW area, don't forget to come to JJ's Taco Shop here. There's several of them. But come visit them and have some margaritas. Cheers. All right. So we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
All right, Bitchin and Moanin crew, we are at the Velvet Box. We told you this was going to be for educational purposes, and we're going to have a little fun. So we're going to come in here and we are going to talk to someone who's a specialist on some fun toys and some fun things that y'all can use. And Sydney here, hi Sydney. Sydney is going to help us out and talk to us about some great things that we can explore and play with. So Stephanie, take it away.
Get ready. So, okay, so in here, let's just do a quick pan of the store. So we have like lingerie, it looks like. We got some lotions, we got some vibrators, and then we got, and Sydney, if you want to help me out, I just want us to get a little view.
Yeah, we'll have like, these are like the premium product stuff on this wall to the left, and then the BDSM section over there, and then we have a C-ring section, then like the male masturbator section, pumps and like extenders, and then the prostate anal section, and then like the dong section.
Very good.
All right. So now that we've
Okay.
had a short little kind of tour of the store, so we've been talking about like different ages. Kind of, I guess we'll go by decades, right? So when you see 20 or 30-year-olds come in, what are they looking for?
Usually, depending on the person, we do have like sometimes they're looking for more like a lower price point kind of options. So like this is a good section to kind of look at. We do just have like nice little like simple vibrators that are like $40, and those sometimes it's nice to like explore that. But a lot of times people come in and they're looking for like the rose toy, which is like the air pulse kind of one. People see that a lot on TikTok, or like recently people have been coming in for the lemon.
What is that, Sydney? Tell us what the lemon is.
So it's pretty much like the rose toy. It has the air pulse technology, but it's just a different style. It's like a little
For educational purposes, tell us what that does.
right. Well, air pulse rather than like vibration, it's gonna be more like
Is it like a suction?
yes, it's gonna be similar to suction, but a little different than that. It's not gonna be like straight suction. Just it kind of brings back more like nerve endings, because vibration could sometimes like numb out the area, and then the air pulse just kind of like brings back all the nerve endings.
Wow, okay.
That's interesting.
That's something new. Yeah, we learned something new.
Pretty cool. And then this one, it is $40, which is pretty nice.
So are these pretty much for women, these type of vibrators, or there
You could
use
use
other
them.
things? Or
Yes, these ones are technically like more for like vulva owners, but you could always use them like nipple stimulation, other stuff like that. But we do have like not only like external stuff, we have internal stuff down here for like to target the G-spot area more rather than just external. And then this section over here is going to be the dual stim one. So
I love that there's like samples of it that you can touch and feel, and the colors, and
yeah, we should have testers for almost everything, so you can kind of see the product you're gonna want.
that's awesome.
yeah,
I love
that's
that.
amazing. Because I know it's like non-refundable.
Yeah.
Type of thing. So when you buy it, it's not like you
There's
can
some
bring
here
it back.
too.
So,
You want to make sure you like the product you're picking.
so do you think with the 20s and 30s, it's more about price point, or what do you think they're wanting to buy?
Here, if you follow me over here, people also really do, depending on the type of couple, like, because this toy I'll show you is good for like vulva and vulva owners, or like vulva and penis couples. But these ones are like the couple toys, which people really like. And these ones they're like $230, but they are worth every penny. And people of all ages love.
Yes.
this.
So what does that do? Like, tell
I
me what that
actually had
does.
one of these.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
So
Tell me.
it stimulates the top and inside, and it also has like a remote control, so you could wear it out like on your dinner, and give your husband the remote control, and you can be sitting at dinner. And go, get a little zap. So yeah,
I do have a couple remote control ones. They don't look like that though.
3-in-1. You could wear it and have like penetration with it on, so that could be fun.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's like with the remote, so you can like
Remote control.
remote control. So that could be a little fun.
Yes.
For have going out and nobody would know why you're going. Oh,
And it's quiet. And
yeah,
so
it's quiet. Yeah.
It's quiet. All right, very good. All right. Thanks for that. So now that we've talked about the younger generation, 20, 30-year-olds, let's move on to like maybe 40, 50-year-olds that need something a little bit more stimulation. What do you suggest for that?
Usually these two are going to be the best options. Most of the time people always end up falling in love with these toys. This one is going to be the Womanizer brand, and it has the 3D air pleasure, and they're the ones who actually like created the air pulse technology itself. So they have a patent for it and everything. Like the other ones are trying to like feel like Womanizer.
Okay, Womanizer.
But
womanizer.
if you ever have the
Britney Spears, Womanizer.
Yeah. Literally, I'm going to turn it on so you can kind of see. If you ever have the chance to hold one of these, I would say try it out. It's on a super low setting, but if you suction your thumb on it, put your thumb kind of like that so you kind of have a suction, you could feel the technology. It goes obviously stronger.
So it just sucks?
Yes. And then I'll turn it on more so you kind of feel.
Oh, I do feel that. It is like definitely vibrating and like sucking my thumb, which is kind of neat. I've never heard of that. I'm so glad we came in here to see some new technology on this.
And this is like their newest one too, like the highest of all the technology they have.
That's pretty cool.
And this one really does bring back all like the nerves, make it feel more sensitive.
Wow. Okay. Very cool with that.
So that one is very popular. People love. And then this one.
What does something like that cost?
This one is going to be like $295, and they're like waterproof. They have really good warranties too.
Ooh, waterproof on a boat.
Yes.
I don't know, because I like my boat. Tell us about like creams or anything like that.
Then honestly, for that, we do lots of brands like Wicked and Wicked and Intimate Earth have brands specific like line specifically good for like menopausal women because they have different ingredients and it kind of like this one for example, the timeless selection from Wicked is going to be such a good option, or the new one Moon Bloom, that's a newer Intimate Earth style, I guess. But these ones are designed for that, and it kind of like locks in moisture more. So you use it as a lubricant, but instead of just like eventually like going away and just like leaving sticky stuff, it like moisturizes the body itself. So these ones
That's perfect.
are super nice, and people love these ones.
And
So
what is
are they
something-
like
what is something like-
organic?
Yeah.
I mean, all organic.
They'll be natural ingredients.
Okay.
What is something like that run?
These ones super good, honestly. Like this one specifically is $27 for the hybrid.
Okay.
And then the Intimate Earth one is going to be $30.
Okay.
So really
All right.
branding.
Just a little investment for some pleasure and some,
Mhm.
So these ones are good. And then they also have like the toy cleaners, and they do have like vaginal moisturizers too from Joe, which is up here. So these ones, I use these ones to actually like moisturize my tattoos, and it works very well.
okay.
Oh wow.
Moisturizer.
Those would be
Dual
the best.
purpose.
Yes, exactly.
All right. I want to switch over to the LGBTQ community and what you might have for them.
That our
And
section.
especially being June.
Yes,
Yeah, it's
being Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride Month. Let's talk about that.
Perfect. We do, depending on like who is coming in. So really, pretty much anyone can do anything. But we do have, depending on what type of couple it is, we do have like here, close the door. We have this section over here. We'll have like our strap section. So we do have like testers for those as well.
Oh my gosh.
And that one is super nice because it has a suction, and it's actually a super strong suction.
Suction is a big thing.
Yeah.
now. I
Is
guess
that new?
This one, I actually am not sure. I'm sure this has been around for a minute, but this one is usually nice because most of the like dongs have suction on the bottom, and it could fit more rather
this
than
just
getting
goes
different
around this way?
rings. Yes.
Okay.
Then you could suction all of those onto it, and that one's pretty universal. And the other ones, you can always change out the rings in it.
Okay. Very cool. Educational purposes, kids.
Then these ones are cool. These ones have like stimulating stuff for both the partners, so you can kind of wear it. It vibrates. You can use that with
Oh, and it
everybody.
even vibrates.
Yeah, so those ones, that one and this one are kind of like that.
Let's talk about the price on this one too, Sydney. What,
That one is gonna be $105. It has
Okay.
nice vibration.
That's
good
not a bad
brand.
price.
No.
So that one's
For a little pleasure. Okay,
That
I
one's
love
cool.
that.
Then
Now I'm kind of noticing this. We did talk about our male viewers because as you get older, of course, sometimes there's some issues with getting erections and things like that. Women deal with dryness for menopause, so men kind of deal with some other stuff. So I was kind of looking at some of this. Talk to me about this a little bit.
These ones, I'm not as good with these, but basically these ones are gonna be like the penis pump ones. This one is gonna be our like highest quality one, and this one runs for $244. But if you do want to kind of try it out without making that big of a commitment, we do have this one, and it's $40.
Okay.
But basically, like the idea behind it is like it's just pumping more blood to the
Penis.
to
Yeah.
the penis, and then it also comes with a C-ring to kind of help keep the blood in that region.
Love that.
So that
Wow.
is nice.
So just in case there's no way to, some people can't afford to buy pills and things like that, whatever, that might be something
So that
helpful
one's
to
good.
use. Very good. Okay. So we wanted to talk about also dressing up, having some fun, just kind of acting out. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephanie, and then maybe you can talk to her about all the outfits.
All right, so we talked about like doing some fun things on date nights, like dressing up and stuff like that. So I noticed you have different outfits over here.
Yes, we have a good variety. We always rotate through them, so we always have different stuff. This one is newer, and this one is giving boss woman. We
Yeah,
love
very
her.
cute.
Boss bitch, baby.
Yeah,
Cute.
very cute.
And then honestly, it kind of depends on the vibe you're looking for, but we have the ones on the wall over here that are going to be stretching to fit, so they go from like super small, like one size fits all, so extra small to extra large, and then we do have queen size options, so everybody could have a cute outfit. But these ones are super nice because it just morphs to your body and it fits everybody. So those are cute, and you can always wear them underneath outfits. Then we do have literally every style for every person.
What do you think is most popular? What do you see a lot of people buy? Are they more into garters or are they more into frilly kind of things?
It really depends on the person. People really do like getting the robes to pair with a cute little lingerie piece. So you can kind of wear it looking elegant. But honestly, everybody is different.
Look at the
Like,
leather. That's
yes,
great.
I know.
Little plug.
All you need is a little whip.
yeah, so you can always match it, and we have so many different like paddles and stuff like that over there to match with the outfit.
Very
We
cute.
have like little nightgown styles that can be comfy and just go to bed.
Yeah.
But
To
we
me,
have-
this is cute because you have a little see-through. But
Mm-hmm.
then if you like a little modesty down here, you're
Yes.
still kind of leaving it as a little secret.
Yes.
So
They
very
have this in
perfect.
maroon and black. This is super
I like
cute.
this. Yeah, very
I
cute.
love that. And they have little la la. And then they have the tops and the bottoms, which are so gorgeous
This
and
one's
cute.
really pretty. I like this.
Yeah.
oh, green, that's my favorite.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's beautiful.
It's so cute because it's still, you're still covering everything up, but it's still a little sexy and,
And to me, this is like more girly, girl next door kind of stuff, where you use the leather if you really want to get out there.
yeah.
Very
So
cute.
all of these outfits are cute. Let's talk about fetishes.
Perfect. Then honestly, depending on what you're kind of looking for, we don't have like, depending what kind of like fetish or kind of kink you're looking for, we do have like, are you guys looking kind of like the BDSM section?
Yes.
Yeah.
And tell us what that stands for.
Ooh, B bondage, bondage. I believe dominant, dominant, submissive, and BDSM. I'm gonna be honest, I
Making love.
Making love a little bit kinkier.
Yeah.
So a little bondage.
Yeah.
this one isn't part of the section, but this is super cool. It's the cowgirl cone.
Ooh.
You're able to literally, this thing kind of gets stuck on the table, but you can take these off, add different extensions. Super cool, vibrates, has remote.
This has the cowgirl cone, saddle attachment, and the Alamo attachment. That sounds really interesting. Wow.
Super cool. But then we do have like over here will be like our like bondage ropes, which are like super soft, and we have also like scissors that are meant to cut them. And they're like feathers, our little like paddles, little stuff like that.
Little feathers. Ooh, little feathers. And if you need help and some explanation of how to use any of these things, Sydney here is an expert. She will gladly tell you how to use this. Or again, any place that you go to that may have some things like this can definitely, give you some ideas. And if not, YouTube. YouTube is always good.
It's a good educational tool.
It looks like there's some other stuff here, maybe some handcuffs. And what do we have here?
The wax.
The wax.
Yes, she told a story about she used these on a man that she was with one time, and he wasn't quite sure about all the wax, and he thought he was dying, but this is the wax.
That is exactly what I used. And he threw me off the bed. So
Yeah.
But yes, a little bondage.
Panties.
Ooh, gummy panties.
Panties. And I did see what looked like some, I guess, I don't know what to call it, harnesses or
The swings.
Yeah, tell us about those, Sid.
Yeah, they're super cool. These ones are like the swings where you can hang them like on the door. I believe that's where you hang them. You can do different positions like that. Or people do really like the body pillows to kind of make it, if you have kind of like a hard time like moving around, makes it more comfortable. And you can have a bigger pillow, smaller pillow.
Yeah,
This
I've
is
used
for educational
the
purposes,
Yeah,
remember.
I've used the pillows before, and it does help a woman with position. And so, yeah, these are really good. It makes it a little bit easier too. Gives you some support also.
We do
Okay.
have one out if you do want to see. This one under here is just what
Oh,
the
there it
big
is.
one
Yeah.
looks like. And they do come with like attached handcuffs. Like right here.
Okay. Got little handcuffs on there.
So that was super cute.
So, Sydney, if we don't have a whole lot of money to spend and we just want to try a few things out, what would you suggest?
Over here, I would say, because you could create a whole fun night with just the stuff. Over here, We do have to, if you were thinking like enhancement kind of things, these chocolates are super cool.
Ooh, fun.
They're like the honey packets, if you ever heard of those, like on TikTok. But basically, you could split it with a partner, and it increases libido, increases like arousal, and
Wow.
puts you more in the mood. Like
That
that.
sounds like fun.
Those ones, people love those.
I like a DTF gummy. Look at all these fun little things in here.
So they have a whole
Big
little.
dick energy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just little samples that
Mhm.
aren't going to cost you a whole lot of
We have
money.
like flavored lubricants. We have like games and Intimate Earth too, so it's going to be pH friendly and natural ingredients.
Very cute. Little pop. Oh gosh,
Mhm.
these are popping rocks. Remember those when we were kids?
this
Now
is-
they're used for something else.
I like this with the little dice.
Oh yeah, little.
Something-
These are like little games you can play
Yeah,
again
it's
just
so
to get yourself in the
cute.
mood.
The sexy adult foreplay game.
So, any last words or advice about sex?
I would say just be open about it. Everybody does it. Come in if you have questions. Belt Box is the best place to go. We're education based, so you can ask anything. We're here to help, but I say just have fun.
Wonderful.
All right.
Thanks, Sydney.
Thanks, Sydney.